Welcome back to another episode of the Supercar Killer M3 presented by Turn 14 Distribution. Today we're going to show you the ins and outs of finally getting this thing running properly. We will apologize in advance for what was a bit of a fail at the end of last episode, although we know you guys enjoy a good fail from time to time, but we didn't enjoy that. You could probably tell we were trying really hard to get this thing to run and idle because we wanted to hear it rev, and believe me, we are more excited than you are to get this thing running properly, but to do that, we know we need some touch-ups to the startup tune, to the idle tune. It was just puking a ton of fuel, so we are going to get Mark Panic on the internet here with us on my MacBook Pro using an emulator. I know we don't have a
What happened to the Intel Atom?
I know, the Atom is in the garbage now, but there was one hater in the comment section, I think a couple episodes ago, like, how could you guys build a car like this and not have a proper laptop to tune it, bro? And I'm like, well, we do have a $3,500 MacBook Pro, so I think it'll do the job for us, bro. We'll be okay. We will buy a PC laptop eventually, but this will do the job just fine. Thank you very much. And to avoid carbon monoxide poisoning, we have put a duct off the exhaust pipe out the door so we can run the car in here safely on what is the coldest day of the winter here in Hamilton. So we've got Mark Panic on the phone here, and you can see he's invaded my laptop with TeamViewer, and he is looking at pre-crank prime. I guess is that a fuel table, Mark?
Yeah, so that's the first pulse of fuel when you first try to start the car. It just helps the engine kick over, get it running.
Nice, okay. So yeah, we obviously...
We're gonna do crank enrichment table also.
Okay, so crank enrichment table is also going to do some work on, and as you guys would have saw at the end of last episode, it looked to be puking a lot of fuel on startup.
And it took like a long time to start, just to crank over, so
Yeah.
there's, a little bit of...
fine tuning to do there, so let the games begin. All right, Mark's worked his magic. Pete, ready to start this thing up?
We're gonna do it.
Here we go.
Alright, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. It's not enough fuel.
Not enough fuel, eh? Okay. Oh, there you go. Fired right up and then it died, eh?
That's what we had last time, yep. We're getting there, and of course...
Go away.
Sorry, go ahead.
So it died right away?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead and try to start it one more time.
Okay.
All right. It's idling. It is idling.
Alright, just let it idle for a sec.
Okay.
See how much the ants are. It wanted a lot more fuel.
So it was fuel, eh? We thought it was too rich and it was...
It's probably gonna smoke for a minute, just let it clear its throat.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're letting it do its thing, and it sounds glorious. It sounds so good. Well, we can't really hear the exhaust, but man, this thing, like, it just purrs.
It is purring nice, yeah.
It's doing its job.
When it's the coldest day of the year, these are the things you do, right? It's running, PT, it's
Hey,
running.
that's what you gotta do. It's running. We're not sure. Yeah. Is that a problem?
Don't panic, everyone, don't panic. We've got Mark Panic on the phone, but this is just the turbo blanket, I think, bedding itself in. So no, we're not on fire. Just burning off those oils and greases and all that stuff on.
The good news is, it idles and it revs, DP.
It does, yeah. You got the throttle responding nicely there. And by you, I mean Mark.
Yeah, I'm dialing all this in here.
It sounds awesome too. It really does sound great. Like just up front here, it's idling so nice and smooth and quiet. There's almost no valve train noise at all. So it sounds really happy.
Our quick session with Mark Panic is over. He has dialed us in just enough to get this car running and revving so we can get it over the dyno. So let me start this thing up for you guys, man. I am beyond excited.
And we've taken our ghetto exhaust off there too, right? That sounds nice. That sounds nice.
Oh man, that is wonderful. Listen to that exhaust.
It is nice.
And
You gonna give us a blip here or what? Oh, oh yeah.
still got some work to go, but man, like if I just rev it up. Wow.
Nice.
It is so good.
I'm even hearing a little choo-choo noise up there.
We are now moving on to a incredibly important part of this build, one that has been widely contested in the comments section, and that is the kidney grills. There have been two camps. A lot of you do not like the chrome grills, and the other half like them a lot. So we figured, you know what? I actually have a set of black grills because I went through this whole back and forth myself. I didn't know whether I like the chrome ones or I like the black ones. So let's swap these out and we'll show you what they look like, and then we can finally put this topic to rest. So I just realized these are almost like a one-time install. The plastic clips here tend to break and they're so brittle. So if these break, I'm gonna be disappointed because I think I wanna run the chrome ones. Well, I knew it was gonna happen. And as I predicted, you can see these are just like so soft and weak. I just yanked up on this one a little bit too much. They clip in as such, and pulling that guy off has broken one of our clips. So I think we're still okay. Maybe what I should do, what do you think, DP? Should I put the black one in here right now?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
To show what that looks like.
Let's
Let's start with that. There you go, guys. That's what it looks like right now. See, I don't know. I don't know if I like it. I mean, it's just you lose a lot of the contrast with this chrome grille. It kind of, you know, has good contrast with the intercooler and a little bit of the headlights. Whereas this, it just kind of loses itself. But let's put the other one in and then we can really look at it and give you guys a proper look. And there we have it, the flat black kidney grills. I don't think they fit. You know, if this was a white car, I totally think they would work much better. But on a dark color like this, I just think you kind of like lose the whole front end quite a bit on here. Whereas the chrome grills, I thought just have more presence and kind of tie into more of an OEM look on this vehicle. So anyways, post in the comments, maybe have I converted some of you guys that were into the black grills over to the chrome, or are you guys still thinking like this is the way to go? So let me know in the comments. I'm interested to hear your thoughts, but I think I'm going back to the chrome grills. You just got to look at it and it seems right. It doesn't, it, DP? It really does.
It is.
I think the chrome grills look really good. But we are now going to move on to yet another cosmetic item here. A lot of you were on the fence about the clear timing cover here for the 2JZ here. And Luke over at 242 Customs ended up painting this beautifully for us. Man, this black has some shine to it. So let's see what that would look like. Because, oh man, it totally changes the entire look of the engine bay. Wow. I don't know. I like this actually. It takes away the timing belt and whatnot, and in doing so, I think it cleans it up. I mean, this is pretty neat. I like seeing the blue timing belt, but at the same time, I think this look here is like super clean and just, I don't know, what would you even say? More classy? And here we have the full-size valve cover. Let's see what this would look like on here. Wow. Huh, not bad at all either, DP.
Yeah.
I kind of like the complete look on that aspect. There you go.
That is the full OE look, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Kind of closes it off. What I do like about it is this area now kind of becomes one with the valve covers. So it's more of an OEM look. I think it, I don't know though, I like this, but at the same time, this one here, this is like a little bit of a mix of both between having the OEM look and having a little bit of that motorsports look with the coil packs exposed. So again, I don't know, we're probably gonna go back and forth on this quite a bit, but post in the comments which one you think we should run. With us being just about a week away from hitting the dyno, we want to make sure that this car is 100% ready to go so we don't have any issues there. We want Sasha to be able to tune this thing, not have to troubleshoot it. So what we're going to do is just test out the whole plumbing system and see if we have any boost leaks or any type of leaks in that sense. And what we are using is this Autool smoke leak detector. This is a pretty neat device. And what it does is if, let me see if I can turn this on here, turn smoke mode on, and this should now start producing smoke out of here. And then essentially what we're gonna do is plumb this into the intake system and see if we have any leaks. However, what you do wanna do is you don't wanna have your intake open up because obviously that's gonna push the smoke out. You wanna kind of close your system off. So we're gonna end up taping off the inlet of the turbo with this and then stuffing this hose in there. If that kind of doesn't work, then we can always go through the manifold. But one way or another, we're gonna get this hooked up and I'll show you how it works. But as you can see, it's starting to produce a little bit of smoke and it stinks. And you know why it stinks is because I'm using, I think, baby oil.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, like they don't really give you an oil, unfortunately, when you buy this, and you're left with figuring out what to use. And there was a couple sites that said baby oil is the way to go, and it does seem to produce smoke pretty well. But what it doesn't do is smell nice. So you can see there's our smoke. Whoa! As you can see, I've got the hose in there and tried to tape this off as much as possible here. I'm not sure if this is gonna work, but let's try it anyways. Wow, there's like small little leaks everywhere here and here. Holy, look at it. Wow, that's crazy. But on the bright side,
it's like an Ozzy Osbourne concert in here.
Yeah, I know. We've got ourselves a full smoke machine. Whew. On the bright side, I don't see any leaks on this side, which is a good thing. So I'm sure it's slowly starting to permeate through, but let's turn this off and switch it over. All right, guys, so now we've got the smoke machine hooked up through the intake manifold here. And as you can see, we've got a rubber glove. I figured that might be the better way to go. Let's see. Whoa, look, there we go. We've got smoke. It's pressurizing things, DP. Things are happening. That's a good sign.
Well, it looks like it's flipping me off right now, but I'll take it.
All right, well, like I said, if you don't see any smoke, then we're good to go. So we're gonna let this fill up for a little bit. If you look in here, like there's no smoke pouring out of anywhere. And as you saw before with the foil, like you could literally see it just like permeating out right away. And I'm looking around the intercooler. Everything does look good. Let's see over here. Yes, sir, indeed. Actually, this glove's holding up pretty well.
Yeah, I guess it's not so high pressure that it's going to overinflate it.
No, it's not. So, all right. Well, I think we're going to call that a victory. What do you think, GP?
I think so.
I don't see any leaks.
Yeah.
I think we're good. Another item that I've wanted to tackle is adding a couple of these flaps for pressure relief on our fan shroud here. And the premise is simple. When you're driving down the road and your fan isn't on, this fan shroud here isn't going to allow air through. It kind of has to make its way and go through here. And, you know, granted, this is a pretty big surface, so I don't think there's going to be a ton of restriction, but we want to make sure this car is running as cool as possible at all times. So these little rubber flaps are a good idea. And I've got to give a shout out to Stu over at Lease Spec. If you're not following him on Instagram, definitely do. He is an amazing fabricator. He does a ton of really cool stuff for GTRs and whatnot. And I saw him using these and I was like, man, these are super cool. It's such a simple design. They're just like, they have these little rubber grommets here that you pop in. So they're going to be, I think they're going to be pretty effective in this situation, just to allow extra airflow to get through the rad while we're driving down the road. So nevertheless, let's get to figuring out how many we need here. I'm thinking 4 per side and we should be good to go. Here is the finished product. Man, that was a lot of work. I didn't expect to run into the problem of I didn't have the right tool. Like I started off trying to use a Dremel, then I went to this, but I didn't have the right size cutting disc through the aluminum. So it was a bit of a messy job, a little bit hectic. Then I had to like clean the holes up. So lots and lots of work, but as you can see, I think this is going to do the trick. It looks like it's going to work really well. I just added an extra little reinforcement piece in the middle there just in case, because I figured, you know what, you don't want it kind of like collapsing on its own, on itself. So that did add a little bit of work again, but all in all, that's pretty good. I think this is going to improve the airflow significantly. So let's throw this back in the car. Fan shroud is back in, and I just realized that I've mounted a couple of these vertically, and I don't know if that is a bad thing, because when they're mounted like this, they're gravity's just kind of like pushing them down. Mounting them like this, they kind of just stay open. I can see down there, so they're slightly open. I don't know if the suction of the fan is going to close them instantly, so I don't have something to worry about or not. But if you guys know, post in the comments, did I screw that up, or am I going to be okay with that? One of the very few eyesores left on this vehicle is this rear trim here, this rear window trim. As you can see, it is just absolutely cracked, falling apart. So I want to replace it. As always, Bud's BMW in Oakville. I ended up sourcing one of the trim pieces here. In order to get this window trim out of here, what you need to do is actually loosen this window out. It'll just give you a little bit of space to work on this trim, and that wasn't too difficult. There's just like a little plastic cap that you need to pull off, and then you can pop it out. And then what I did was I came over here, I popped this little plastic clip out, and now all that's held in, or that's holding this trim in place, is a bunch of tape. So I'm just gonna run this underneath here along, and then you can see now it's starting to slowly come out, and you just gotta do that all the way down until you've got the whole thing out here. Well, this has turned into more work than I anticipated. There is a lot of adhesive. If you look at the new piece, there's this small piece of glue here, and then there's this larger strip as well. And I just took this one off thinking, oh, we'll be good to go. And now I gotta get like really deep in there. So as you can see, I'm using a utility knife to just like slide underneath and take this off. And it's going, but it's certainly slow. You just gotta like continue to work your way along here. Man, let's see if I can, there you go. Woo, okay, well, that's fine, but now we gotta try to clean off all of this nastiness here now before we can put the new piece on. Yikes. As you can see, I've got a lot of the old 3M adhesive off using the old 3M adhesive wheel remover, I think it's called. Well, I don't even remember anymore. Jeez Louise. Anyways, this is an invaluable tool. As you'll see, like you can see the adhesives on there, and then all you do is just go along here, and it will remove it without harming or damaging the paint. Look at that. For the other piece of 3M adhesive tape there, as you can see, I just like went in here with my knife like this and just scraped as much off as possible. I think that's the goal. You don't necessarily need to have it perfectly clean, because the new stuff should adhere pretty well. Ooh, that's satisfying. That feels good. Oh, it's starting to jam up a little bit. It's getting tight. Okay, this side is completely out. Come on. Oh, it's starting to stretch. I think the window's got it. There we go. All right. Now we push down, right?
Yeah, get it seated in there.
All right. Sweet. Well, that is a job well done. I'm going to do that on the other side. And then I think it's time we fire this car up for you guys again. Ooh, she's a cold one today, but it's time to start this baby up. Oh,
Sounds nice.
man, that thing sounds good. All right. We got first gear. shut her down. I want to keep revving it. I want to just give it that little snap, but I could tell she's not happy. So that is officially a wrap for this video. Next stop is the dyno. So there's a couple of small things. I got to put together the interior here. We've got, I heard it, just a small little rattle. So we'll end up putting this thing up on the hoist and just looking at a small couple other things, but we are headed to the dyno next. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, definitely give me a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and make sure you check that notification bell off because the next video is gonna be badass.
When in doubt, you want to double glove it, everybody. Double glove those leaky areas and you'll be just fine.